So I want to share with you 5 top tips for how you can start to follow through on these dreams and aspirations. If you commit to a change, whatever that change is, and you commit to it tonight, then magic starts to happen. Have you ever noticed that? Yeah. And I write about this in my book, Radio Heaven, where suddenly you get an email, or you meet somebody, or you see something, and you weren't really expecting it, but help starts to come. Have you ever had that circumstance? Yeah. It's like the opposite happens too. Like if you think it's all so miserable and you're never going to do it, then you sort of end up walking around and meeting other people that say it's miserable too, and that makes you believe it. So the same thing can happen. In fact, we have a part of our brain called the reticular activating device, which is like Google. It will search for the things that it wants. In 2006, when I was recently divorced and I created a vision board, pictures of what you want in your life, in your work. You're looking at me like it's mad. It is mad, but it's really fun. Who's done a vision board before? Anybody? See? I'm not the only one, right? And anyway, I cut out this picture. I wish I had a picture of it up here for you. I don't, but I cut out this picture, lots of pictures about work and wanting to live in America and live by the ocean. And I cut out this one picture of this man with like grey hair, and he had a little beard, and it was sort of like Sean Connery meets Harrison Ford. And I cut out this picture, and then, and I did this vision board, and then a few weeks later, what happened? Nothing. No, I phoned up my coach, and she was like, you have to take an action. I was like, oh God, what? And then this email came into my inbox, which was an invitation to a conference. And where was the conference? St. Louis. In America, not California, but I thought it's close. And then on the first evening, which was a networking event and drinks, and a bit like this, and I thought, I don't really want to do that because I'm tired, but I'm going to come down and pretend. And I got like 2 glasses of wine in my hand and some food, because I was like, I'm with someone, but I'm not really. I'm just greedy and having 2 glasses of wine. And I was like, taking them up to my room, and literally this man was standing in front of me, and I saw him, and it was like, man from vision board, because my reticular activating device was like, doot, 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 and there he was. So just stand up so they can see you. He's real. And where did he live? California. Originally from Manchester. So I was like, I'm not really with someone else. There's a glass of wine away. So anyway, commit, because when you commit, great and amazing things really do happen. So you don't always, people produce these crazy 55-page strategic plans or a big, personal development plan. And where does it sit? It sits on a computer or on a desk, and it just collects dust. You do not need to know every single thing that you are going to do before you do it. If you do something, then it will lead to other things, okay? So baby steps along the way. There's a saying which I love, which is, be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. I love that, because it kind of says it's not just about us, that there is something bigger out there, whatever your beliefs are, that when you actually say, I'm going to do something, they kind of go, oh, okay, she's serious. And the first thing they do is send you a little test, like, do you really mean it? And the second thing they do, if you pass the test, is they send you a little bit of gold. They'll send you something. And we have to be awake to really notice that email or that person you just spoke to that said, there's magic, potentially magic here, with the woman who wants to do the business, the woman that wants to help her. The two of you might decide, oh no, let's not do that. And you might run, I didn't mean it, and she's like, I'm scared. And you may never connect. Or you might make that commit to change, and you might magic. You could be like FTSE 100 within however long it takes you. The second one is absolutely fundamental, and there's so much out there about focus on your strengths, strengths-based philosophies, books like Now Discover Your Strengths by Marcus Buckingham, a big strengths positive psychology movement out there. For me, this really means understanding where you are at your best. What is it that you are good at and you enjoy? This is very important, right? Because there's many things that we're good at, we don't particularly enjoy them. What are you good at and you enjoy? Time flies when you're doing it, and it seems like common sense to you. And the common sense one's really important. Please pay attention, because so many people are like, oh, I just write 70, I'm just a writer and I write 70 pages a day and it's not really very much. And you think, oh my God, because that person just takes for granted that that's what they do. So don't take strengths for granted. So what is it that you are good at? And then really start to design your career and your life, if you can, around those strengths. Think about that. So that you are doing work that you find even easy, that you are good at, that you enjoy, and time flies when you're doing it, and for you it feels like common sense. We'd all love to be in jobs like that. The more that we can design our strengths in that way, the better it will be. Richard Branson says that he has his life, in his work, who's a very successful guy, 80% of his time is focused on strengths, and 20% of his time is focused on his weaknesses, things that he's not very good at. He's actually exceptional at surrounding himself with people who are, complement his strengths and weaknesses. So focusing on your strengths is really, oh God, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I wish I could implant it into your head now. Take a computer chip and put it in there and say, reprogram it. Because so many of us are deeply focused on our weaknesses. And it's reinforced every day by our performance reviews, our bosses, and the conversations that we have. Try to start to really turn that around. It will make a massive difference to you, and it will make a massive difference to those around you, because if you master it for yourself, you can help other people do the same thing. Who in the room's got kids or knows kids? Those kids. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we grew a generation of kids that were focused on their strengths? On Saturday, we're doing our Mad Leadership Conference for young women aged between 11 and 18. And because we're trying to get them young. You know what's really interesting? I've seen this year in, year out. We get a lot of sisters come together. And one sister's 11, and one sister's 16. Who's the more confident? 11. So once we master this, we help master this for young people, girls and boys, but particularly this is a big issue among girls. Number 3, think small. Think small. Why would I say that? Most people say think big. You have your dreams and aspirations. They can be big for you, but every day, think small. What is the one thing, the one little thing that I could do today that would make a difference? And do it first. Do it before everything else. Have it at the top of your to-do list. One thing for you. Google that job. Speak to that person. Write out my strengths. Do that project. It could be 5 minutes long. But imagine if you did something small for 5 minutes every day, and the person in the desk next to you did nothing small for 5 minutes every day, then who's going to be laughing in a year? Right? So think small every single day. What is it that you could do that will make a difference? Number 4, who in here is exceptional at looking after themselves? I'm glad the breath woman is. We need you to be. But look, you know what? Look around. We pray to you. Not enough. Who in here knows they should, but doesn't really? Yeah. Mostly it's because we think we're indestructible, and we are indestructible for many years. And also, we sort of feel like we'll do it when? Tomorrow. When they're okay, I'll focus on me, I'll get everything else done, at the end of that list is me. Yeah? How would it be if we turn that list upside down on its head? Is that a selfish act? No. Yes, there was a yes here. And it's selfish. So is it possible that if you looked after yourself more, you could make a bigger difference to others? Yes. Now really get that into your brain. So if it's a proven fact, and we hear about this all the time, but we don't really listen, is that women who look after themselves more physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually have more sleep, have less depression, have less anxiety, do better at work, have more healthy relationships, and, most importantly, have a better sex life. Now, so look after yourself is really key. And I think if this is a challenge for you, which is for many of us in the room, then please let's think about turning that round completely. Otherwise, you will stop at some point. Your body will say enough, or your mind will say enough. Lastly, final point here is find your tribe. Find your tribe. What does that mean? Find your tribe means be around that empowering peer group. So, in my opinion, your peer group should be people who are sort of maybe slightly above where you want to be. So there are people who will be not only supportive people are sort of on the same level, but they're definitely not going to be unsupportive. You want them to be able to challenge you a bit, okay? So find, whether it's an Aspire event or whether it's in your workplace or it's a women's community or it's a community in your local area, but find your tribe. Who are the people? And if you can't find a tribe, then start a tribe. I couldn't find one when I first came to London, so I started Aspire. So, or if you don't want to do that, find someone else that wants to do it and do it in collaboration. So find your tribe is so important, and then contribute to that tribe, contribute to that group, and be in that group. So of the 5 things that I've said, the first thing I said was what? Commit to change. Number 2 was what? Focus on your strengths. Number 3, think small. Number 4, and number 5, find your tribe. Okay, so what is the difference you need to make to yourself that will make a bigger difference to others? Look out, 'cause here I come.